Up next to a sundown town and you look like me, you know more about the song lyrics "Try That in a Small Town" than you are probably admitting to. So let's talk about it. And I'm gonna go by part so we don't miss anything. So let's just talk about the first 4 lines of that song that end with "act a fool." Now, let's not be acting stupid. Let's not pretend that the line "act a fool" at the end of that stanza, or whatever you want to call it, at the top of that song isn't referencing all the actions that came prior to the sentence "act a fool." And let's not pretend that "act a fool" was just chosen verbiage. It was on purpose. Now let's talk about "make it down the road." So when you live near or know about a sundown town, making it down a road and crossing a line is very particular language. See, when you're in a sundown town and you're talking about people of color, you run them out of your town, down that road to the city limits. They're talking about a line and a road and to not cross it. And I recommend you don't try it. I recommend you don't try crossing that line, that city limit in a small town. It's not just that they're talking about, I recommend you not acting in those behaviors. They're recommending you not crossing that city line, that county line, whatever it is. He then references "good old boys." This is a very particular term. Good old boys reference white men. Period. End of story. So what this song is actually saying is, if you come down the road, if you cross that city limit of our town, and you would only know this if you knew white people that lived near or in a sundown town, because you need to know that language to understand what this song is actually saying. I remember the sundown town that I lived next to. They used to joke about the fact that there would be an alarm that would go off every night at 6 o'clock in the town. And that alarm meant that all Black people better be out of the town by 6 o'clock. Like, you need to be down the road and over city lines before 6 o'clock.
This song, and it's on Jason Aldean's TikTok page with this newspaper article right here. And you see this right here, and I'm going to zoom in for you in a second. We zoom in right here, you see it says NAACP, the Republican Party. Down in the bottom right, it says time, the weekly. It looks like the date says May 21st. And after we do a little digging, we find the article. It's the Petal Paper in Petal, Mississippi. And here we have the NAACP, the Republican Party, like we saw. Right here, you have the date, the weekly, the May 21st time. Now, what could it possibly say? It looks like it's a letter to the editor, Mr. P.D. East. Dear Mr. East, as a public relations consultant to the NAACP, I get to see many newspapers from across the country. But never have I seen anything that startled me as much as the March 15th issue of the Petal Paper with its incredible ridiculing of the White Citizens Council crowd. I'm referring specifically to the full-page ad I assume you wrote headed, "You too can be superior." I hope I'm not congratulating a dead man. This must have taken courage, and I hope you are still with us. I'm mighty curious to know what happened after you exploded this blockbuster in your community. And if you read Mr. East's response, he goes on to tell Mr. Gross that he was called an in-lover, that he lost over 200 subscriptions, and that he was pretty much bothered and harassed in his small town. Well, who exactly was P.D. East, may we ask? He was an American journalist who founded and edited the Petal, Mississippi's weekly newspaper, the Petal Paper. He's known for his use of satire to criticize white supremacy in Jim Crow-era Mississippi. And according to this article, he was ostracized from the community, he was spat on, he was threatened with violence, his newspaper lost all its subscriptions. And why would this happen to Mr. P.D. East? because he tried that in a small town. He challenged the Southern racist establishment. But let Jason Aldean tell it, and everybody that's supporting this song has